Welcome back, mi gente. It's your girls, Nati Natalia and Dakila Britt. So, today we're talking, or we want to start the segment about why it's important to shop small businesses this holiday for the rest of the year, for the rest of 2021, all those years. So, today
For the
we
rest of
have
your life.
period. So today we have Luna. She is the owner and founder of Pulse International. So we're going to interview her, ask her a few questions. And yeah, so welcome, Luna. We're so excited to have you
Hey,
today.
girl.
Thank you.
And she's actually in Colombia right now. So thank you for joining all the way from Colombia.
I know, right? For real.
Just a 3 hour difference. We're good.
Yeah, it's okay. Her and Bear are on the same time
Oh yeah,
zone.
I think we're on the same time zone. It's like
Yeah.
it's the 5:55 over there.
Mhm.
Okay, then so we're on the same time zone.
Yeah. Alrighty, girl. So, how did you come up with Pulse International? What motivated you? Like, how was it created, and how did you bring it together?
Yeah, that's a huge story. So, I my last year of college, I was going to go to Panama on a brigade. It was Global Medical Brigades. So we were supposed to go to Panama and provide healthcare to the communities out there. Unfortunately, in March, because that's when literally I remember I was in class and I think it was like a week before our trip, we still had the okay to go, and we were informed that we couldn't go. So it was really upsetting because we had
Oh,
Damn.
ready, literally everything. Imagine a week before the trip. So after all that, I couldn't. Obviously, we couldn't go out there. It's on hold right now. But during my summer, after I graduated, I just felt like I wanted to do something for the community still. And obviously, I don't have the amount of money to just be donating once a month to them, you know.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, like what can I come out with that can help me raise money and donate to the communities? And I remember I had a friend in high school who's currently now manufacturing, and I hit him up, and he was like, yeah, he said he was more than grateful to help me. His name's actually at Alex of Arabia. If you guys want to add his at name down below.
oh,
I'll
perfect.
follow.
So yeah, we worked together and we started coming out with clothes. We manufacture in LA, so it's a huge involvement with my brand not being fast fashion. Um, so
Amen.
so yeah, so that's when the idea came out, and I think it took me about 2 months to get everything together. After those 2 months, I launched, and everything has been going well since then.
Oh my God,
Yes.
guys. By the way, it's amazing her clothes. Like they're so cute.
Yeah.
Thank
Just
you.
saying. Look, Nati got that top on right now.
Yeah. If you're watching on
Yeah.
YouTube, she has her
Luna
new fall
too.
collection on. I have. This is from the summer, right? Your first
Yeah.
collection. Okay, and you just launched. Basically, when did you launch? This summer, right?
Yes, I launched August 16th.
What?
Girl.
You're doing so good, actually, because I was looking at your following and everything. That's like 4 months? What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
4 months.
Yeah, that's so good.
Dang. I thought it was a year, high key. That's
No,
I
crazy.
know
Four
the way
months.
that you made it seem like a
Yeah, I
year,
was
Nati,
like,
when I was talking to you.
I
Yeah.
know.
pretty. I've only launched two collections because, like I said, we manufacture in LA, so it takes a lot more
Mhm.
time. It's not fast fashion, so definitely takes a lot of time. Alex of Arabia, the manufacturer, he puts so much time into his work, and everything that he does just takes time, and honestly, comes out great, great quality, and yeah.
True. So,
Yeah.
what is fast fashion for those who don't know? Like, could you explain that to the listeners?
So fast fashion, it was a couple months ago when it started hitting really big on social media, and I guess some people started taking into account like, wow, like I didn't know this, or I can't believe
Hmm.
these brands have been doing this whole time. And so for me, fast fashion, what I took from that was obviously clothes that's being manufactured in another country. China is like the biggest one, or
Hmm.
probably the only one, but where they're not paying equally, they're not paying their manufacturing people equally. So I guess I think it was a while back when I saw it hitting and trending where it was as low as 13 cents a day to come out with
Yeah.
all these.
Oh, like Fashion Nova.
Y-
Yeah, and then they get shipped here, and people are selling these shirts or selling these tops for over $50 or close to like $30 to $70. I know I was just explaining earlier today that Zara is one of them, and
Yeah.
their price ranges are high. So for
Hmm.
me, it's like if if you're gonna be I guess supporting fast fashion in that sense, it just doesn't make sense to me because one, you know that the people manufacturing these clothes, the people who are working hard on these clothes, are not getting paid even minimum wage here in the U.S.
Of course.
Hmm.
It's just I don't know. It plays a big role on my brand because I know us at this age is so hard not to support brands like that because
Yeah.
obviously we're making the right amount of income at this age. But it's just hard to know that that's not right, and people are still really supporting brands like that.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
Pulse International, yes, our prices are a little bit higher than those fast fashion brands, but we don't we manufacture here in LA, as well as our 10% of our sales are being donated to another cause. So
Hmm.
it has a lot to do with
Oh,
our in our production.
which cause is that, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, so it's actually the trip that I was supposed to go to in Panama, Global Medical
Oh,
Brigades.
okay.
That's what I do every month.
Oh, wow, beautiful. And then I know that you had mentioned before that you were in school. And what were you going to school for? Was it for the same thing in the same field, or was it something like completely
Yes,
different?
yes, I just graduated with a bachelor's degree in biology.
Hey,
So
congrats.
She's
yeah,
scholarly.
For real. We love us some intelligent women.
it was a long, it was hard. It was definitely hard. A
Mhm.
lot of hard work put into it, but I finally got it done, and now I'm just taking my time here in Colombia, working with communities, trying to find communities to help and physically give a hand to.
Wow, that's so beautiful. So I had one question in reference to, I know that you went to school for biology. Now you're out here being a humanitarian, which is overly, I appreciate it so much, because I'm very big on humanitarians, and I feel like we need to get more recognition for people who are like you, who are amazing.
Thank
Um, so I know this is not being Latina, right? Our parents don't
Hmm.
really view what we're doing as a real career and X, Y, and Z. So how were you able to, or like, were you able to have that conversation with your parents, be like, hey, what I really want to do in life is like X, Y, and Z. I don't really want to be something in
Doctor
biology.
or
Yeah,
think the point I had to get across with my parents was that, of course, I know they all do it for a good cause or for a good reason. They want us to
yeah,
succeed more than they don't want us to go through all what they had to get to where they are right now.
yeah,
They want to build this perfect road for us to get there and be like, hey Mija, here's the roads, here are the steps, do this, and you'll get to where you we want you to be basically. So
hmm
for me, I guess the way I took their approach was just telling them, "Hey, like I have a degree now. Like that's the first hard step it takes for someone to get to where they want to be, right?" And me, with the knowledge that I have, and I think from the person that they raised me to be, I
yeah,
just try to really get the point across that I'm not gonna waste my degree. I mean, it's a different story from like when somebody graduates with let's say my biology degree and they end up going being a cop. For me, I think that's great because one, I don't think a degree, I don't think the subject of the degree should really define where you have to be or what
amen.
program you have to apply for. Yeah.
Mm,
So for me, I just think having a degree is already a bigger step than what I could have been doing if my parents didn't raise me a certain way. So I try to tell them that I was like, the way you raised me, the person that you've taught me to be, has gotten me this far. It's
yeah,
hmm
so hard for others to have the opportunity that I have.
yeah.
So I think with that, me just telling them that, it kind of just made them like, oh shoot, like okay, you're right, like you're 23 years old already, and you have a degree, like we did
yeah,
our part, that's it. And so
Hmm.
obviously me moving across the world was hard for them.
yeah.
They're
I
like,
could
get
imagine.
to LA or something, not freaking
Yeah.
Colombia. So that was definitely an even bigger step, but they are really understanding of what I'm doing and what I want to end up doing with the world, has a lot to do with what I'm doing here. And so
Yeah.
I think they definitely support that, and they definitely support the strive that I have to do what I want to do.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I feel like that's when
Yeah.
like you kind of like, how your parents teach you your whole life. Now you're like teaching them in a sense where it's like, listen, I don't have to like thank you so much for everything you've done, but just because you have this degree does not mean that that's it. You have to be in that. You have to follow that
Yeah.
field. And I think how you worded it was like so beautiful because it's like, listen, like I'm very grateful. You guys literally have helped me because of you. I'm this far, but now it's my decision and my choices of what I'm gonna do with the rest of my life. And like, yo, you have the biggest guts ever because I feel like, especially now in our communities, it's so hard to talk against your parents and their views.
Yeah.
Like in my family, yo, everybody's a freaking psychologist. Everyone graduated in like that's their thing. Psych. I'm a communications major. So for the first thing was like, whoa, well, like, what's communications and this and that? And it's just like, okay, like communications, bro. It's the way that we speak with each other. It's like finding how like a commonality between like different cultures and stuff like that. And
Mm.
so like the fact that you were able to be like that person in your family to be like, yo, like I'm not gonna be like a regular person. I want to do more, I want to be more of a humanitarian, stuff like that. Kudos to you. That's so inspirational, I think.
Heck yeah. What because I know it was hard for you. So what helped you get over that fear and like actually like, I'm gonna do this?
Man, honestly, I can give huge what's the word I'm looking for, man? I can't find the word. But my boyfriend Nicholas, meeting him just completely changed my whole perspective on the way to live life too. I was always I've explained to Matthew before, my parents have always raised me a certain way and do this, do that. Meeting Nick has just like burst the bubble for me, and I never thought I'd be traveling at the age of 23. I always had the desire to travel, but it was never a thought before the age of like 30. It was always like when I have money,
Mhm.
when I have my career, after I graduate from medical school,
Yeah.
never at this time. And meeting Nick, everything opened up. I started having all these entrepreneur thoughts. I started wanting to see the world today.
I
And
know, right?
Goals. Please, Nick, if you have if you have any cousins, please send them this way.
but say definitely he's been a huge push in my world. And till today, I think like, okay, it's definitely something I knew I had in myself, but I don't think I would have ever been able to reach that part of myself if I hadn't have met.
Yeah. And honestly, sometimes you just need that push, I feel like. And I
Hmm.
think it's like good because I feel like, at least for me, like I'm very, I feel like my push could be nappy sometimes because I'll be like, oh my God, Nat, like I'm going through this. And like, I'm like, "Ugh, I don't know what to do." And then Natty's like, girl, just do that shit. And I'm like, you're right. Like, let me just do that. Sometimes I feel like you really do need that push because if not, then you're just going to be like, oh, well, maybe I'll do it or maybe and maybe. And then you
Yeah.
just never do it or you let it fall like behind.
Yeah, I feel like everyone needs that person, whether it's a partner, a family member, a friend, a neighbor. I just think it's a way to help your self growth. Like it's a way, like you can grow yourself, but you don't have that push. You don't have that motivation. Sometimes
Hmm.
you're doing like I know everyone has those moments where in life you're like shit, like this, like I don't know what to do. I don't know what I want to do tomorrow, and I just feel having that other person, that extra thought, that extra help, it kind of puts a little bit more, it helps you put your mind into like, okay, this is where I'm at, no, this is the shit I have to get done. Like you said, nothing
Yeah.
tells you, oh girl, just do that shit tomorrow. You get
Yeah.
next day and you do it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think it's also good too because it sucks when you're surrounded by Debbie Downers, like, oh, you
Oh,
can't do that or
yeah.
you can't do this, and obviously it's not going to be easy. But I think when you have friends or like for you a partner or a family member that says just do it, like who gives a shit like what other people say, or you just never know. I think that's so important because especially being an entrepreneur, like you're doing everything first, so you can't
Yeah.
really like. I think it's important to have mentors, but what you're trying to do, especially with you and your brand, like I think it's so different. It's not like you're trying to be
Mhm.
the next Forever 21. Like no, like you're giving back. You
Exactly.
care about the world. You care about people, and
Period.
um, I think it's hard because you can't really look for. Okay, so how do I do this now? Like you're the
Mhm.
first, so that way people who come after you, you could mentor them and let them know, like, hey,
Yes.
the mistakes and failures that I did. And that's another thing too. I think a lot of our like being in the Hispanic culture, we're very like there's no room for failure. Like going to school,
Oh,
like
they focus on
oh,
the
if you don't get a
mistakes,
degree, you're a
always.
failure. Yeah, so I think that's why sometimes our parents are very hesitant to like support us or kind of give us the green light on things because like they're like, oh well, you're gonna lose money or you're not gonna make sales or all these things, and it's like that's okay though. Like even though yeah, that's gonna suck.
I think, yes, sorry. I think a lot of it has to do with also that our parents or like the culture we're raised from is they have adapted already to do what they wanted. They have adapted to the career they have because they know that that's it. Like that's it. Like it's not like I don't want to say it's not happiness for them anymore, but it's more of like, okay, I've been doing it for 30 years now. Why am I going to change now?
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
Yeah.
different now. Like we start a career, we go to school for this career. We started for 2 years. We don't like it anymore. We literally change it. We end up,
Yeah.
Yep.
and
And then
then
we just get comfortable with the 30 years of doing the same
we're
thing.
comfortable, and then that's it. And I mean, I'm not saying that's bad, but I'm just saying it's different. It's a whole different culture.
Hmm.
It's a whole different thing with us. Things
Yeah.
evolve. And I think parents or it's definitely Hispanic culture have a huge issue with evolvement, like things
Yeah.
Oh, for
evolving.
sure.
Man, it's hard, and then you
Oh,
try
I say it all
Girl.
the time.
and they listen, but they don't understand. So it's like, okay, like at the end of the day, you just have to end up doing what you want to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nobody can understand you but yourself.
Hmm.
Oh my God. I always say this thing of like, I feel like because I'm Honduran, right? So I feel like in Honduras, their mentality is like right now, early 1998. They're not into 2020 yet. Like the way that they think just now, it's okay for like women to use tampons and things like that. I feel like they're so behind in like revolutionizing, and it's just like, yo, like times are different. We're not in 1998, honey. It's just 2020. Like it's time to get with the shits. Like
Yeah.
it's okay, like if I want to be a fashion designer, hey, that's okay to be that. It's not necessarily like you're not going to be like you're not aiming to be. I mean, if you become the next Forever 21, hey, that's amazing, but that's not like your end goal. Your end goal is
Mhm.
what you're doing to give back to your community, and how you're helping people like around the world, like from different places, is like beautiful, I think.
Thank you. Thank
I think it just goes to show like that's how you're like it speaks to who you are as a person, like I think a lot of people like to me bio, okay, I think doctor, I think money, you
Yeah.
know. Um but also too I think it just shows that like you don't need a degree in a certain field to do what you like you didn't go for like
Yeah.
fashion merchandising or like you didn't go to FITM fashion school we have here in downtown LA. Like you went to Cal
Mm.
Poly, got a degree in biology, and started a brand. Like,
I didn't think you were
like,
in Saudi for 4 years. Oh, we were coming out with clothes.
Yeah. Man, I think that's an amazing story actually.
I
It's
think
like,
yeah.
everything behind college, everything behind the course is the degree. It's all about the knowledge, though. It has nothing to do with the grades. It
yes.
has nothing to do with the topics you learned or the teachers you took it with. It's all about the knowledge. And if you feel like you learned a lot more in those 4 years and not have going to college or not have taken those classes, then that's on you. I get that, but at the end of the day, I don't think it's a degree who defines you or defines how your future should be. It's more what you took
Amen.
for years.
I agree. Oh my, you're
Yeah.
literally speaking to my soul, Luna. I'm gonna tell my mom to listen to this podcast. I'll be like, listen, mom, you need to listen to this episode, okay? Please.
So
It's
thus
so,
far, because you've been doing this for like 4 months now, and I'm pretty sure there was like it took a lot more time behind the scenes as well before your launch. What has been the the toughest part about starting your brand, starting your business?
I don't. Okay, well, honestly, I thought launching the first day was kind of going to be the hardest, just because I didn't have. Let's say I just launched the picture. I had no followers. I had
Mm.
that was it. So I was like, okay, how far is it gonna get? How's this gonna get? I think the day next, I already had. I think it was like 112, 115 followers. So I was like, wow, that's a great start. Like, definitely people watched my page or went on.
Mhm.
yeah,
Honestly, for the first week, I had a lot of purchases too. So I think definitely like passing that thought or overachieving that thought was a start, because I mean, when somebody comes out, you can spend all this money, all this work, all these late night work, and something not hit. I mean, it's very common.
yeah,
Mhm.
So I think that was one step that was the hardest, but I think going through my brand and where I'm at right now is just, I guess, coming on with content. I just think marketing is a whole nother field and a whole nother
Yeah.
group of
yeah,
people and I would say it's not as easy as they say. I mean, there's so much that comes with this, especially with social media. That platform, it
yeah,
comes with hashtags, the certain types of color you use, the certain types of words you use, the
yeah,
exact time you post, the exact date you post. So
Yeah.
yeah.
it's a whole nother thing. So it's definitely hard. I feel like coming out with a brand is just not one thing. Like there's so many different categories that fall into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's hard.
So I noticed that you were saying that, the first day you launched, and then I think you said by the second day you had like 112 followers and things like that. So, how has chismosa culture, what we like to talk about, like people in our community, posting you, reposting you, and spreading the word? How do you feel like that has affected your business in the
Um,
sense of?
I
Mhm.
think uh, I feel like people who are supporting a brand. It, it's really helpful when someone just posts their story or the likes. Like it's not even about just buying my brand or buying my post. I think the people who post is a huge help because it's spreading the word. It's like I know you guys have been seeing recently a lot of unfortunate events where all these abductions have been happening or
Yeah,
these girls being found just because of posts, just because of stories, just because of people spreading the word. And I feel like people really need to take advantage of that when it comes to social media, and
yeah.
it could definitely make something known. Whether it's from something from that tragic event or something when it comes to like promoting brands and stuff like that. My point is that social media has a huge role on just trying to get the word out rather than just purchasing. You know.
I agree. I feel like a post can go so much further too, you know? So like if, for example, if I post your thing, then someone who may not even know you that knows me is like, "Oh my God, that's cute," and I'm gonna purchase that. And I think
Yeah.
that's why it's so important to shop small and not these big corporations. Because honestly, at the end of the day, Luna, your business gives a fuck about somebody. Like you care about
Mhm.
people compared to these big corporations. Like they don't care about us. Like, yeah, they want to use these ads of our people in it, like people of color or like our black and browns, you feel me? But in reality, like they don't care about they're not giving back to our communities compared to like you, like your brand is giving back to a community. You're helping more people with what you're doing. And I think that that's why for me, I would 100% rather shop small and with local businesses compared to like Target, Walmart, and all these other
Yeah.
places.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Well, Luna, thank you so much for being on with us. Follow her page, guys. It's at Pulse International. Yeah, follow it. She just came out with you just came out with your fall collection, right?
Yes.
Yeah, she just came out with two pieces for her fall collection. So shop that, shop small, you guys. And honestly, it's amazing to know that when
Yes.
you're buying from Pulse International, 10% goes to what was the
Medical brigades.
there you go. So you're helping people. Come on, you guys. Like
For
do it.
real.
It's all a ripple effect. Like she said, like her post, comment, share, everything like that. So yeah.
Honestly, yes. Like Britt was saying, posts can only go so far. Sharing content is definitely a way to get more followers, more content, more people. I just think spreading the word is the way to go when it comes to promoting your brand.
Amen. And best believe we're gonna be
Period.
posting you love. Best believe it. And it's gonna be an
Yes.
amazing season. And I can honestly say only good things and wishing you and sending you good energy from all the way from Miami to Colombia to you and your whole brand because literally I support it. I think it's amazing what you're doing. And I think that you are literally scratch that humanitarian for sure. I don't care, biology degree, whatever, humanitarian is number one for sure. So thank you so much. We appreciate
I
you.
really appreciate it, guys. Thank you.